Hi everyone, welcome to Writer's Corner. I'm Madrani and I'm from Tales of Creative Writers. And once again, I'll be reading another chapter from this book. Lessons from the Ramayana by Sri Child Satchamurti. And in this video, I'll be reading lesson 16. And it's the last lesson or chapter in this book. And to finish off in my next video, I'll be reading the final conclusion. So, here's lesson 16 and I hope you like it. Here we go. Understand how a person can make himself useful. They also serve who only stand and wait, by Milton. In the Ramayana, there are certain characters who remain silent. They are noble, worthy and active, but they remain in the shadow of someone else. Take, for example, Satrughna. Satrughna is attached to Bharatha just as Lakshmana is attached to Rama. Satrughna remains a mere appendage to Bharatha. Bharatha plays an active role and exhibits rare virtues and skills. Satrughna is also just as capable as Bharatha, but he is in the shade of Bharatha. He appears a mere duplicate of Bharatha. When Bharatha hears of his mother's demand of boons, he is terribly angry with her. He thinks that he is at the root of perfidy. Satrughna also becomes as terrible as Bharatha. He, in a rage, says, "Why did not Lakshmana restrain the old king? Why did he not take the reins of government in his hands? Why did he not nip the trouble in the bud by killing Mandara?" As he is raving thus, having gone into his tantrums, his eyes light upon Mandara decked in all finery. He pounces on her and kicks her with his foot. The poor woman is on the verge of death. Then Bharatha intervenes and saves her. He says to Satrughna thus, "My dear brother, I am also angry like you. In fact, I was on the point of killing my own mother the moment I heard the root cause for Rama's exile and father's death. But I refrained from doing so. Do you know why I refrained? Our brother Rama does not look at me if I am guilty of murdering my own mother. You know how our dear brother stands on principles. A hero should not kill a woman unless she comes fully armed to fight with him. Please do not vent your anger on this servant maid." Satrughna obeys Bharatha and follows him. A little reflection reveals to us that Satrughna is not a mere appendage. Though silent, his role is crucial in that it is supportive and executive. Whatever Bharatha decides, Satrughna not only concurs but also executes. He is thus an executive genius. Bharatha decides to meet Rama in the forest. At once Satrughna makes all the arrangements and sees that everything goes on well without let or hindrance. He is the life force behind Bharatha, and his work is like a vein of water flowing hidden underground, secretly making the ground green and beautiful. It seems they have but one heart between them. Satrughna never questions what Bharatha feels or decides, as he too feels the same. So Satrughna's position is not an inferior one. It is an understanding or appreciating acquiescence or merger. While leaving for the forest to bring back Rama as king, Bharatha addresses these words to Satrughna. "My dear brother, we are all going. But this kingdom, this treasury, these granaries, and all the palace riches belong to Rama. They must be guarded by us. Please see that trusted officers of proven integrity are entrusted with the responsibility of guarding these till we return. You must plug all loopholes and make it foolproof. Everything should be safe and untouched." After leaving these instructions to his brother Satrughna, Bharatha rests assured that perfect arrangements will be made to safeguard the city and its riches. A task entrusted to Satrughna need not be thought of again by Bharatha. Such is his confidence in Shatrughna, and such is the capability of Shatrughna. It is Shatrughna that is at the back of Bharatha's success. Sumitra. Sumitra, the mother of Shatrughna and Lakshmana, also appears to be a silent character, but she's at the back of Lakshmana's success. There is a saying that a woman will be at the back of a man's success in life. That woman may be the mother or the wife. In the case of Lakshmana, there are two women at the back of his success. One is his mother, Sumitra, and the other is his wife, Urmila. Lakshmana goes to Sumitra for permission to accompany Rama into the forest. Then Sumitra swallows her sorrow and overcomes her feeling of affection for her son. If she, out of affection for her son, stands in the way of his accompanying Rama, what will happen? She knows that Lakshmana cannot be separated from Rama. Sumitra is a jnani, person endowed with uncommon wisdom. So she curbs her emotions and maintains calm. She says to Lakshmana thus, "My dear son, you have chosen a very right path. In the forest, treat Rama as your father and treat Sita as your mother, and you take the forest to be Ayodhya. Your greatness lies in your unstinted service to Rama and Sita. I wish you all success." Urmila, the wife of Lakshmana, also does not stand in his way. She does not try to press him to take her also to the forest. She understands the situation and cooperates with her husband in his decision to serve Rama and Sita. She is also a silent character that helps Lakshmana shine in all glory. Urmila converts her separation of 14 years from Lakshmana into a period of intense tapas, penance. This tapas of Urmila supplies energy and enthusiasm to Lakshmana. These silent characters, in a way, are really great in that they help Lakshmana become great. Kausalya. Kausalya is the mother of Sri Rama. It is her fortune to have Rama as her son. How fortunate she was to be in raptures fondling her dear son, who is God incarnate. Now she is terribly shocked to hear the news of Rama's exile. She says to her son, "My dear Rama, your father has first announced to the citizens that he is going to crown you king. Later he has exiled you to the forest at the word of his beloved wife. Does it not amount to breaking his promise to the people?" But she does not become aggressive and instigate the citizens to prevail on the king to fulfill his promise to them. The reason is, she is a silent character helping her son do what he believes to be righteous. She asks her son to take her also to the forest, but she does not press her demand and thus inconvenience her dear son. She agrees with her son when he bids her to remember that a woman's first duty is to serve her husband. She reconciles herself to her lot and decides to spend the 14 years of separation from her dear son in penance. She is a pious lady bent on spiritual bliss. She, by her silence, helps Rama leave for the forest and thus become a force in the shade for the glory of Rama as a saviour of mankind from the scourge of evil. Kausalya is a jnani. Adversity does not make her lose her balance. She is able to understand that Rama's sojourn in the forest is planned by gods for the deliverance of mankind. So, out of earthly bond of love for her dear child, she does not like to exert her full influence on the course of events and change them. She finds comfort in the philosophy that events will take their course. It is no good our being angry at them. He is happiest who wisely turns them into best account. Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi is the mother of Bharatha. She first appears to be aggressive and prominent in shaping events. She is like a child who just pushes a rolling stone which is on top of a hill. When once the rolling stone begins to roll down from the top of the hill at the slightest touch of a child, even a giant cannot stop its dangerous fall. What Kaikeyi does is to gently push the rolling stone on the top of the hill. She realizes how rashly she has acted, and by the time wisdom dawns on her, her irreparable mischief has already been done. The words of the sage Vashishta are worth recalling in this context. He says to Kaikeyi, "O Queen, out of love for your son Bharatha, you have stooped down to meanness in extorting from the truthful king the two baneful boons. You think you have secured the kingdom for your son, but you little know the nature of your son. He would not accept the kingdom. He would bring Rama from the forest and hand over the kingdom and riches to him. Later you rue your lot as your mischief has not brought you the expected fortune." Kaikeyi becomes silent when Bharatha refuses to accept what she has earned at a dear price. She is no more aggressive to bring her son to her way of thinking. Far from that, she feels repentant and silently helps her son make amends for the harm she has done. So she is also a silent character that is behind the glory of her son. She has become all the better for being a little bad. Thera. While dying, Vali calls Sugriva to his side and says to him thus, "My dear Sugriva, my wife Thera is very wise. She can give correct advice. If you follow her advice, you will never err. Before coming to fight with you, I was advised by her not to accept your challenge. Had I followed her advice, I would not have been reduced to this state. Let bygones be bygones. Please take good care of her. Heed her advice and be benefited." It is no wonder that Thera advises him not to ill-treat Sugriva and beat him mercilessly. In the beginning itself, soon after his return from the cave. Perhaps he did not heed that advice propelled by fate. Whatever it may be, he has a high opinion of his wife Thera. After the death of Vali, Thera chooses to be the wife of Sugriva. As wife, she acts as a silent force for the glory and greatness of Sugriva. When Lakshmana goes to Sugriva in an angry mood, she talks to the prince in well-chosen words and soothes his anger. She knows the greatness of Rama and encourages Sugriva to serve Rama with all his being. Thera's wisdom is not able to save Vali because Vali is self-willed and he is impervious to reason. Her wisdom benefits Sugriva because Sugriva is good at heart and amenable to reason. Mandodari. Mandodari is a principal wife of Ravana. She is a good force in the dark. She can also be called a silent character with a difference. She advises her husband time and again to give up his wicked ways. But Ravana, who is imperious and impervious to reason like Vali, is not benefited by her wisdom. Just as Thera fails in the case of Vali, so also Mandodari fails in the case of Ravana. Mandodari knows that Rama is God incarnate. She also knows that to her husband death is imminent at the hands of Rama. Thera in the case of Vali and Mandodari in the case of Ravana are no doubt good forces, but they are not strong enough to stem the tide. Despite their gentle appeals, Vali and Ravana rush to their doom. Mandara. Mandara is the maidservant of Kaikeyi. Mandara wishes to make herself useful to her queen Kaikeyi. Her only concern is Kaikeyi and her son. She cannot see beyond her nose. She is highly selfish and greedy. She is the most vociferous evil. She has the gift of the gab. She is able to influence the good and cultured lady Kaikeyi. Mandara has the interest of Kaikeyi at heart, but what she considers to be an interest is really a poison. In her efforts to be useful to the queen, she becomes harmful. The bold, active and vociferous Mandara, with the advent of Bharatha and his volcanic eruption of anger against the mischief done by her, becomes a shy, disgraceful, gloomy figure in the shade. Her example teaches the world the moral that to be useful means not to be useful immorally. Those who are active and dynamic will be doing good work and winning the applause of the people. But the silent figures who have either propelled them into righteousness or have not stood in their way of righteousness also deserve praise. Trijata. Trijata constitutes a silver line in the cloud of Sita's gloomy imprisonment in the Ashoka garden of Ravana. Her words fall on Sita's ears as life-giving drops of rain on a dried patch of land. Trijata addresses the Rakshashis guarding Sita in the Ashoka garden thus: O inhuman Rakshashis, you are tormenting and torturing a pious and virtuous lady. You do not appear to know the terrible consequence of your mindless misdeeds. I shall tell you the dream I had last night. In the dream I saw Rama seated on an elephant along with Sita clad in soft silks and decked in jewelry. I saw Ravana clad in rags going on a donkey. I also saw him bathed in oil and I found him drinking oil. I saw Vibhishana seated on the throne with the crown resplendent on his head. This dream has a message to convey. Rama is going to put an end to the Rakshasas headed by Ravana. He will recover Sita and win glory. Vibhishana, who has gone on to the side of Rama, will be rewarded with kingship. So do not ill-treat Mother Sita. Be kind and courteous to her, lest she should wreak vengeance on you when the time comes. You say that you would like to eat Sita's flesh. What a sinful thought it is. If you so choose, you had better eat me and spare Sita, who is glorious and godlike. The words of Trijata, uttered from the bottom of her heart, will have some softening effect on the flesh-eating Rakshashis. They think perhaps that Trijata's words may come true. When Indrajit binds Rama and Lakshmana with Nagastra, the scene is pathetic enough. It appears as if life is ebbing. Then Ravana orders that Sita may be taken in the Pushpaka Vimana to the battlefield and shown the bodies of Rama and Lakshmana, supposed to be lying lifeless there. Trijata accompanies Sita in the Vimana. Sita falls into heartbreaking grief at the sight of Rama and Lakshmana lying on the ground, bound by Nagastra. Sita is told that all is over with the princes. Sita faints with sorrow. Then Trijata opens her eyes into reality. She says to Sita, My dear noble lady, Rama and Lakshmana are not dead as you suppose. They only pretend to be bound to respect the gods that have conferred boons on Indrajit. Garuda comes and frees them from their bonds. I heard this from reliable sources. See how Vibhishana, Hanuman and Sugriva are looking into the sky for the arrival of Garuda. A look at their faces will reveal that they are breathing in the normal way. I tell you another reason to prove beyond any shadow of doubt that Rama and his brother are alive. The leader in this Vimana has just received instructions to take you back to Ashoka garden before the princes are restored to life. These words are life-giving breath to Sita, fainting with sorrow. On one occasion, Ravana, by his black magic, gets Rama's head made. He places that Maya head and Maya bow of Rama before Sita and tries to make her believe that they are really Rama's. Sita feels utterly nonplussed. Then Sujata comforts Sita and brings cheer to her, desolate with grief and disappointment. She says to Sita thus, "My good lady, it is only the magic of Ravana. Rama is hale and healthy in the battlefield, wielding his bow. See, within 10 minutes this magic head and bow will disappear. None can conquer Rama. Ravana is working on your fear and vulnerability to black magic. If you steady your mind and coolly reason out, you can see through this black magic. Please rest assured that Rama will soon come here crowned with success and take you with him in all honor and love." As Sujata predicts, the magic head and bow disappear with the exit of Ravana from Sita's presence. Characters like Sujata help from the shade and silence, those who are good and noble. In this context, the following words of Emily Dickinson may be quoted. "If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life in aching or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin into the nest again, I shall not live in vain." The end. So that was end of lesson 16. Thank you for watching, and please click like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video when I'll be reading the final conclusion. Thank you. Bye.